What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And on today's episode, we will be talking about the Bulls' upcoming game against the Orlando Magic, some stats from Ayo's run as a starter so far, and some more things. We'll get into it right after this. All right, so the Bulls have the Magic coming in town tonight, and I don't know about you guys, but I want to see the Bulls just play excellently. I would love to see a blowout. I don't call for blowouts very often, right? I try to be very objective in the way that I handle that I cover the team. I try to talk about it from the standpoint of like really evaluating both teams. But at this point, I'm not finna break down any stats. I'm not finna do any of that shit in this game. Before this game, I should say, because I don't give a damn. I want to see the Bulls blow the goddamn Magic out the water. Jalen Suggs pissed me off in the last game. That Magic City bullshit, the cockiness in which they had it in. I get it. Teams show up now to play the Chicago Bulls. They have those games marked on the calendar, and I'm sure it felt great for those guys to beat the Chicago Bulls. But guess what? I want to see them come into Chicago, and I want to see them leave with their tails tucked between their goddamn legs today. This is where I put the objectivity aside. Like I said, I'm not breaking it down. I'm not going to talk about what the Bulls need to do because we all know what they need to do. The Bulls just need to blow this goddamn team the fuck out the water. That's all I'm saying with this one. My bad for my cursing. I know some people don't like it when I curse a lot, but I am sick and tired of this team. Like, just period. The Magic, they irk me. Like I said, Suggs in that game really pissed me off. It's just everything about this team in last game was just icky, and it just really frustrated me to the point to where I want to see the Bulls come out, execute, blow them off their home court, and let's stay let's go back home and chill. I need this game to be over with by halfway through the third quarter. That's what I need. Now, the objective side of me, see, I can't even throw my objectivity away, even if I want to. The Bulls need to execute on both sides of the ball. That's period, point blank. That's what we saw in last game. I know people have focused so much on the other team scoring 116 points. The Bulls definitely need to execute on both sides of the game. They played solidly on defense in the last game. The Portland Trailblazers were just hot. We need to avoid that in this game as much as we can. Not sure. I haven't looked at like who's going to be out on the Orlando Magic side because, like I said, I really, honestly and truly don't give a damn. Now, we know that this is a team that could cause matchup problems. Franz Wagner, as much as Stacey King loves him, can definitely throw the Bulls for a loop in this game tonight. But I need to see our Bulls come out and execute. That's really what it boils down to with me. If the Bulls can come in, they can play solidly on both sides of the ball, then we know that we can win this game. And the Bulls have shown that it's very few teams that can score with us when we're playing solidly on defense as well. We're going to need big games from Zach. We're going to need Vooch to show up as well. Like I said, this could be a game where it gets a little difficult for Vooch, especially with Wagner and Wendell. So we need to see the Bulls really lock in, key in, and play. Javonte Green's going to be huge in this game for us as well. Do we get good Tony Bradley as well? Because if we get good Tony Bradley in this game, it can really change a lot of things, especially defensively for the Chicago Bulls. Not that I expect him to have even a double-digit output like he did in the last game, but if we can get Tony Bradley to play with confidence, play with his heads up, and give us solid minutes, it really does change a lot of things. If he doesn't give us that, do we go with Tyler Cook again? Do we go more with the offensive angle of it? What do we get from there? Kobe White as well. Does Kobe White show up? Do we get solid scoring from Kobe White, or do we go get cold Kobe again? We need to see Kobe play solidly and shoot the ball very well because it really does change the dynamic of so much of what we do on the team. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar's just been so consistent for us this season. We know what DeMar's going to bring, and we need him to bring that each and every night. But we need the players around them around him to as well play good and execute, move without the ball. The ball movement is going to be a key and something that I look for in every game that the Bulls play going forward. How do they move? How do the players that don't have the ball move without the ball? And then does the player with the ball see that movement and make the correct pass when they need to make it? Those are the two things that we need to see as far as ball movement and player movement from this team so far. That's it on this game. I want to see a blowout for the Bulls. I want to see them just kill the Magic tonight. I need that. My soul needs it. Your soul needs it, whether you know it or not. We need to see that from the Bulls. But either way, just hope the Bulls play solidly and get the win and get the victory tonight, blowout or not. Now, this may matter to more Bulls fans than it does necessarily me. I meant to mention this at the start of it just to get it out the way, but the Magic have left such a disgusting taste in my mouth. I wanted to talk about them first. But the Bulls tonight, the Bulls have moved back into the number one seed. I've been on record saying I don't really pay attention to seeding each and every game like some people do. I know seeding is very important to some Bulls fans. They like the recognition. They like the place and the thought of the Bulls being the number one seed, and I understand that, especially considering where we came from. To me, right now, like I said before, I don't really pay attention to seeding until like March, really, because so many things can change, so many drastic swings can happen, injuries, things like that. So March, I'll start paying a little more attention game to game overall with it. But we're in the stretch right now where we need to see the Bulls win, especially the next 3 games to gear in for Phoenix and Philadelphia. I can't wait for those games to see how the Bulls play in those games. We had some issues with the last couple of games that were supposed to be measuring stick games, so I really am looking forward to those. But the Bulls need to have a solid week this week. They need to finish it out. Won't say or call on the Bulls to be able to go undefeated this week. But it is what it is. The Bulls are going into a really difficult stretch in the in the month of February. We have a very difficult stretch. We have 3, I think, or 3 or more back-to-backs this month. It's going to be a really difficult game. We play like 10 games in like 16 days for the Bulls. The Bulls are going to be playing a lot of basketball on a condensed schedule leading into the All-Star break, and how they come out of this All-Star break, really, for the people who are watching and paying attention to seeding, that stretch, right? That stretch leading into the All-Star break is going to be very telling for how easy or hard it is for the Bulls to hold on, maintain, or stick in one of the top 3 seeds of the Eastern Conference. So really be on the lookout for that. It's a really tough stretch for the Bulls, and a lot of back-to-backs coming back. We had a down part of the schedule, which we didn't play the best with because of injuries and things like that. I really want to see the Bulls play solidly over this month, because it's going to be a difficult month for the Bulls. And Bulls fans, fair weather Bulls fans, be prepared to jump off and back on the ship a couple of times over this stretch. It's just one of those things that come with the territory. Not that I agree with it. Hate fair weather fans a lot, in my opinion. I also don't really like fans who are like fans of just one particular player. In this case, like what we deal with is people who are more fans of the Ball family than the actual Bulls. It's, they come and they go. They have their issues, and it's not really built on like the team or anything like that. They focus more on just their player and what they are doing or aren't doing. But that I'm not gonna harp on that too much. The Bulls have a very tough schedule, and it's gonna be, this is gonna be a telling stretch again for the Chicago Bulls. How do they come out of it? What do they improve? Does the coaching staff get them ready and get a lot of these issues worked out and the kinks worked out leading into the All-Star break? Because coming out of the All-Star break, that's where you really want to be playing your best basketball. Use that break to rest up, but come out playing your best basketball after the All-Star break, because at that point, the playoffs are not that far after that. So, of course, it's a couple of months away after that, but you're at that point 2/3 of the way through the season. So, going to be interesting to see what happens with the Chicago Bulls over that stretch. I got two more things, actually, I want to talk to you guys about. So Zach LaVine has now moved into 3rd all-time behind Kirk Hinrich and Ben Gordon for 3-pointers made as a Chicago Bull. My question to you guys is and I know this is dictated on if LaVine signs that contract extension, which we all kind of expect him to do. How long until Zach LaVine is the number 1 for most 3-pointers made as a Bull? Let me know what you guys think about that down below. I honestly think, looking at all the numbers and everything, realistically, health not being a concern, Zach can probably pass this record next season. So we may be talking about a new king of 3-pointers made as a Chicago Bull and for Zach LaVine next season. Last thing, though, Ayo's run as a starter. So overall this season, Ayo has started 11 games for the Chicago Bulls. In those 11 games, he's averaged 11 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, 6.1 assists per game, 1.2 steal per games, and a field goal percentage of 57% and 43 3-point field percentage. This is like Ayo. This is crazy, right? These numbers, right? And keep in mind, some of the games in which he started in, he still wasn't relied on very heavily. This reaching stretches where he's really been playing true point guard for us. But so this includes some of the COVID games earlier in the season. But just those numbers alone, and a defensive rating of 114, which would be, I think, for like best for 7th on the team overall. It's crazy. It's really crazy what we got from Ayo, and it just feels good to see this kid continue to excel and everything like that. What do you think about Ayo's run as a starter? Have you been happy? What are some of the things you'd like to see him kind of improve on? We all know, like, the being afraid to take certain shots when the shot isn't falling is a clear thing that we want to see him improve on, especially, he's going to be your starter now for the most part of the rest of the season. It projects to be, with Ayo and Lonzo out 6 to 8 weeks. We're looking at Ayo being our starting point guard probably until mid-March. mid-March, if not later than that. So with that being said, our starting point guard for the future is going to be Ayo Dosunmu. And so what do you guys think Ayo's job? Well, how do you think he's been as a starter? What are some of the things you want to see him improve on overall? Let me know all that down below. But that's it for today's video. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then also, if you want to leave us a text or voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Like I like to end every episode on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.